Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site. Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it?
Feel the seat underneath you. Feel yourself sinking down into it, enfolding you. It's a nice feeling. All you feel is a pleasant warmth and heaviness. Imagine you're at Eden. Imagine you arrive at Eden through the woods. What frightens you? I think he gives you too much medication.
Dr. Wayne says you want me back home. I heard a sound, the cry of all the things that aren't done.
That's what fear is. Your thoughts distort reality. You have to have the courage to stay in the situation that frightens you.
She loves me. I can't do this. The ground is burning.
The ground is not burning.
Nature is Satan's church.
Do you know what you're saying?
You shouldn't underestimate Eden.
Tell me what you think is supposed to happen in the woods.
Where are you? I shouldn't come here. Get out!
Let's see. The movie The AntiChrist. This is from 2009. It was a movie. This was not the clip that I really wanted to show, but it puts us on topic as far as the discussion of the Antichrist. So what we wanted to do was actually have an interview. We'll get to that in a moment.
I had some problems with lighting. I had some problems with sound. I had some problems with a whole lot of different things. So thank you for being here. Happy September the 1st, 2024. We're going to have a very interesting show. Thank you for tuning in today. Let's see who came in first today. All right, so Terry Camp is first in the building, saying greetings to everyone. It's going to be a very exciting show. We are going to interview with the Antichrist. All right, stay tuned. Terry Camp says 777. Let me know if you can hear me. I know the picture quality is not terrific, and hopefully the sound is better. I apologize for all the technical difficulties. We'll get going here. A little frustrating, but we'll work our way through it. All right. BB Production is in the house as well, 777, and says greetings to Terry. Heather Bell is in the house. Where's everybody else? Yeah, we know we go live 11 a.m. Central Standard Time Sundays. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get some participation, greater participation later. Heather Bell, greetings and salutations. And BB Production says salutations and to Heather. BB Production also says sound is good. All right. That's all we get. That's all we got for right now. I wanted to give people time to get on in here. Again, thank you all for being here that are here. All right. So the topic again is my interview with the Antichrist. All right. And we'll be getting to that shortly. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button when you come on in. We really appreciate that. Help us to have relevance with the algorithm. Also, let me see here. What else we got? Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of glitching and things. So it could be the topic, right? It could be the topic. So we'll see what happens. All right. If you would like to donate to us, use our Cash App. That's $ AmericanConsulate. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. We appreciate any little or big thing that you do. Also, we have the email KnowledgeWell for you, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. If you'd like to contact us with consultations and what have you for greater in-depth information, that's the way to do it. Also, we have our Square site, knowledgewell-media.square.site. All right, there you can go and peruse through the items, our offerings, courtesy of BB Productions, the production studio that does all of the fine craft work that we use to support our platform offerings here. So please go on over there to the KnowledgeWell Media Square site and go shopping, as it were. It's a great way to support and get something in return, like this mug, the 777 KnowledgeWell mug. All right. These just came out last week. So if you haven't gotten yourself one, go pick yourself one up. A great way to support. Also, the Patreon. Okay. We have patreon.com/KnowledgeWell for you. This is where we put up very exclusive and private information going to the topics that we discuss here and the information that we supply. So if you want that insider knowledge that is not necessarily put out to the public, that's how you do it. All right. So you can join us at our Patreon at patreon.com/KnowledgeWell for you. All right. And as always, nothing that you hear here today is intended to, nor should it be construed as legal advice. All right. If you need legal advice, please seek yourself a competent attorney and please be advised. All right. Let me mute my phone. All right. Again, the topic today, my interview with the Antichrist. Y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? All right. So first, before we get to the Mr. Antichrist, Mrs. Antichrist, I don't know what his or her pronouns are. We'll find out shortly, won't we? So as we interview the Antichrist. With that being said, very excited about that. Let me lay down a foundation. He or she will hold on. All right. Hold on, Mr. or Mrs. Antichrist, whichever sex or gender you particularly are. We'll find out, I'm sure, at some point today, hopefully. So let's get to our foundation. Bear with me for one moment. And yeah, we are really There's a big lag here. One moment. Let's lay down some foundation, okay? What I want to do is I want to go to the Edemon Online Etymology Dictionary. Let me take this down for you here. There we go. I want to go to the Edemon Online Dictionary, and I just want to look at the term Antichrist so we can lay down a foundation, okay? All right, so excuse me. Now, I've been covering the last month and a half or so, the Antichrist, the mark of the beast, and what have you. So I'm going to expedite this foundation that I'm about to lay down, because you can go back and watch the archive videos. We did like an hour and a half to 2 hours of content and fact-based information. So if you need greater evidence, proof of my assertion of the Antichrist and its mark, then go back and look at the archives the last month or so. Like I did maybe 4 or 5 lives, if not more. But okay, let's get to it. All right, I'll share my screen here. Come on, work for me, work for me. Let's go here. All right, as you see here, the online etymology dictionary, and let's get some context before we get to our interview with the Antichrist here. Okay, so anti, what does that mean? Let me zoom in a bit for you. Anti is the word forming element anti, used by itself, short for various nouns beginning in anti, from 1788. Okay, you know that the United States was and its constitution was 1789. So this is 1 year prior, originally in reference to the anti-federalists in U.S. politics in the 1830s, especially of the U.S. anti-Masonic political party. Go figure. As an adjective from 1857. Let's see if we can get some more context. Word forming element of Greek origin, meaning, here it is, against, opposed to. I want you to focus on against, opposed to, opposite of, instead. Okay? That's going to be our focal point. Anti, against, opposed to, opposite of, and instead. Let's look up Christ. Oh, I could have just duplicated that. Let me, one moment. You know how we do. We'll get going here shortly. I got to get the ball rolling. Bear with me. Oh, internet. Looks like this is gonna be an uphill battle. I'm just gonna be fighting the whole rip, because this content is very powerful. Okay, and we have facts to back it up. So just be prepared. Strap on. All right, strap on. Heather Bell says gratitude. Appreciate that. Oh yeah. All right. So we saw anti, which again is against, opposed to, opposite of. Okay. Okay. And now we're looking at Christ. Here's the noun. Here it is. Christ, the anointed one. That's what it means. Okay. Synonymous with and translating to Greek, Hebrew, Messiah. See, Messiah. That's where it came from. A title given to Jesus of Nazareth. Notice it is a title given to this alleged person, or this legendary person, right? So it's a title. Christ is a title. So just I'm putting the floor in the house here, okay? Antichrist so far is against, opposed to, opposite of, and instead, right, of what? Christ, which is the anointed one. Okay. The Messiah. So opposite or opposed to the Messiah. Okay. Which is a title given to Jesus of Nazareth. Okay. It's not his name. It wasn't his name per se. It's a title suggesting a type of attribute. Okay. Latin Christus and Greek Christos, the anointed. Okay. The chosen one, the anointed one. Let's see if there's anything else here we need. Okay, so against the anointed one, against the chosen one, against the Messiah. What's the Messiah? Circa 1300, Messias, a designation of Jesus, right? A designation, an attribute as the savior of the world. Okay, that's what a Christ is, a Messiah, a savior of the world. Okay, Greek Messias from Aramaic, Hebrew Messiah, the anointed, right? So that's the Christ, the Messiah, the anointed one, the chosen one, the one that has come to save the world. Okay. It is thus the Hebrew equivalent of Christ, and it is the word rendered in the Septuagint as Greek Christos. Okay. An expected liberator or savior of a captive people. The character, state, or office of Jesus Christ as Savior of the world. That's the Christ. The Christ is an office, an official office, a character. Yes, as in a cartoon character, as in Freddy Krueger. That's the Christ. So, AntiChrist means against, opposed to, opposite of, and instead of the character, the state or office of Christ, of Jesus, known as a Christ, the savior of the world, the anointed one. Now, if you've been around here for any amount of time, you know I've been likening that office. Okay, it is something that is worn. It is a type of persona. I've been likening that to our situation at birth or at conception, I'll say, where there were at least 1 billion sperm cells, okay, that basically were all vying for one position or one status, as it were, okay? And that is the status of the fertilizer, right? Or what have you, right? That reaches the ovum and fertilizes the egg. And again, you were competing from the very inception, from your very inception, you were competing against the many. I mean, there's not even, well, there is, I guess, it's alleged that there's at least, 7 or 6 billion people on the planet. Well, again, from the standpoint of conception, you are competing, the individual is competing against billions of others who are striving for the goal to reach the mark, right? To reach the goal, to win the marathon, all right, which would become the fertilization of the egg in order to bring life. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? And so likewise, you can see that this is nothing more than a depiction denoting that very same ideology, okay, based on what we know to be true and which can be observed in the science of the human body during conception and what have you. We can see it. And so, again, the Christ is the anointed one. It's the chosen one. It's the Messiah that has come, listen, has come into the world to save the world, right, from sin. We're going to go into what sin actually is in a moment. But that is the key, that this is what you are looking at. I always say that all of these mythologies, all of these teachings, these ideologies are all brought on and inspired by man and his ideologies. Okay, religion, etc. All of these things. Zeus, Thor. This is all brought on by man, and it is a man who is in control, or that wishes to be in control, that has set himself up as a king or herself up as a queen to dominate over other men and women. Okay, and so this ideology came about, again, as you can see here, circa 1300. That means it had a beginning. This ideology of a Messiah had a beginning. Okay, and here it is, circa 1300. Once again, Messiah, a designation of Jesus as the Savior of the world. What do we know about the story of one called Jesus? Okay, and the legend, all right, the mythology, all right, is that he came from God, source, right? He was created from a spirit, right? And then came amongst the world. The world did not receive him per se, right? A prophet hath not honor amongst his own people, as the scripture states. And he came here. He grew up here. He learned. He was schooled, or self-taught, as it were, right? He was anointed. He bore that title, and so he basically taught, I'll say, against the system, against the status quo. The Pharisees and the Sadducees, they all tried to trip him up. They always were trying to catch him and find loopholes in his teaching and what have you, and trying to discredit him, until ultimately it said that he gave his life in exchange for yours or ours, to save the world, right? So that we can have eternal life. So again, this legend, all right, I contend, mirrors your predicament and your situation, and more so now today than ever before. All right. And so you have come into the world. Man has been born. Man, I mean, when I say man, I'm talking about mankind. That incorporates women as well. Okay, so don't get it twisted. Now, so you came into this world. You had to fight your way through this rivalry with six or so, or I'll just put a number out there. All right. So billions, I'll just say billions of other sperm cells just like yourself. All right. In order to get into this world, to save the world, because you have become the anointed, the chosen one, by the very fact that you survived when others didn't. That means 599 million, or excuse me, what am I saying? 999 million others did not make it. You were the one that actually made it, the chosen one, the anointed one. So you've come into the world to save the world. In this situation, in the legalistic, from the legalistic standpoint, the world represents the public. The public. Okay, that's what it represents. Later for that. But I just want to, again, I want to lay down this foundation. We are going to be interviewing the Antichrist. I just want to lay down a foundation. He or she will wait. Let's lay this foundation. Okay. So again, just in review, anti means against, opposed to, okay, opposite of, and instead of. Who? Antichrist, the Messiah, the Savior of the world, the anointed one, the chosen one, the one out of 999 million. You are the chosen one. You are Neo, all right, or whatever the female version of Neo would be. Niet, I don't know, whatever. All right, but that is you. All right, and you're not supposed to know that. All right, you're supposed to be looking at elsewhere and not realizing that ye, as the scripture says, are God. Okay, you are God. And so you are the anointed one. You are the chosen one. All right, you are the Savior of the world, and that's why you are here. So you have great purpose today, and you should know that, and we should realize that with real eyes, that you have purpose. You are here to save the world. All right, you are here to save, to seek and to save that which is lost, right? And how many of you know, as I've taught many times before, that you have your own universe? You have your own universe. Each one of us has our own universe. What do I mean by that? What is uni? Uni means one. Verse means to turn. That's what it means. Okay, look it up. To turn. And so universe suggests and inferred and implies, right, that connotes that you are involved in everything that involves you, that is around you, all turns together as one. That is your universe. Your family is a universe, right? Right? Everything turns around you. You're the center focal point from your perspective of all of the other planetary bodies, as it were, your family, your father, your mother, your grandparents, your children, right? Your co-workers, even. All of them circle around you. You know, they used to say that the world doesn't revolve around you. That is a lie from the pits of hell, actually. It does. From your perspective, you influence everyone and everything around you. Yes, it is true. But see, the status quo, the leaders, the powers that be, don't want you to realize that everything does evolve around you. Yes, it does. You have a positive and a negative effect on everyone that you come in contact with, whether it's for 1 hour or whether it's your lifetime. Yes, everything is your universe. You may not run into somebody in London because you might never travel over there. So guess what? That does not turn within your universe. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? But everything that does affect or is affected by you is within your universe. And so ye were brought here again on this plane, in this reality, to do what? To affect your universe. And ye are God. Ye are the Savior. You are the anointed one. You are their Christ, as it were. That's what's going on. And so anti-you, or against, instead of, in place of, or opposite of you. That is Antichrist by definition. Are you picking up what I just put down? Anything that comes against your godhood is, by definition, Antichrist. You were sent here to save and seek and save your universe, the individuals, people, persons, place, things that are in your universe. You are here for the purpose of saving that. Yes, that's what's going on. So with that being said, let's go forward. Hopefully that encourages you today, because that is the real McCoy, as it said. That's really your purpose. And if you don't know this and don't come to find out this, then you will feel as if you have no purpose. And this is why people are lost, sometimes for eternity, because they'll take their own self out thinking that there is no purpose for me being here. See, that's what the system, that's what the Antichrist will cause. It is the ideology and the teaching and the doctrine, misguided, misrepresented information that basically tries to get you to think that you have no purpose. You are not an individual. You are a corporate, member, where you lose your individuality. You are to be like everybody else, cookie cutter, and that makes you basically believe that you don't have an individual purpose. That is a lie from the pits of hell, okay, where allegedly the Antichrist is going to be or come from, right? I hope I'm not making him or her mad right now. We'll be talking with the Antichrist here shortly. So stay tuned. It's going to get very interesting. All right. So are you picking up what I'm putting down? If that translates to you, give me a 777 in the comment section. Please, if you just can't come in, it is very vital and very important that you hit the thumbs up button. If you enjoy this information, if you want to help us to continue that information, and teaching. All right. Please do us that solid. We appreciate that. All right. So this is the foundation. All right. Now, how do I make these claims? All right. How do I make these claims concerning the Antichrist? All right. That ye are gods, ye are the anointed one, ye are the Christ, and anything that is, again, against or opposed to that realization is Antichrist itself. Thank you for the 777s from Heather Bell and BB Productions. I should be having some more, I think, but maybe not. Maybe it wasn't good to somebody. All right. So this is what is happening. Now, what would it look like if something were against you? What would it look like if something was against or opposed to you? Huh? Opposite of you. What is opposite of you? First of all, let's define you. Aren't you? Let's see. Let's do it like this. Aren't you what is known as, a human? I know some people are being taught that human means monster and all this kind of stuff. Well, really? Well, let's take a look. Let's give a look. We'll find out right now. Let's bring clarity to that situation. Heather Bell says, I don't give credence to anything outside of myself. You either high vibrational or low. You're either high vibrational or low vibrational. Awesome. I agree. 100%. There is neither bad. There is neither good per se. There's positive and negative. All right. There's positive and negative. Later for that. All right. So let's take a look. What are we when we're saying that Antichrist is against or instead of or opposite to you? What are you? Let's look at the etymology of the term human. All right. And see what they have to say. We're going somewhere. The Antichrist is in the waiting room, waiting to be interviewed. So stay tuned for that. All right. So human. It's an adjective, meaning it is describing a noun, okay? A human. So it comes from or derives from the 15th century, mid 15th century. Human, from Old French, humane, humane, adjective, of or belonging to man. Booyah. Booyah. Listen. This is an adjective describing a man. It's a descriptor that belongs to man. Like a title. Okay? From Latin, humanus, meaning of man. Human, also humane, philanthropic, kind, gentle, polite, learned, refined. How about this word or term? Civilized. So then if you're not civilized, you're considered not human. See, it's a type of human. What type of human? Excuse me. It's a type of man. Excuse me. It's a type of man. What kind of man? It's a human man, which suggests a kind, gentle, polite, learned, refined, or civilized type of man. Who told you that it means you're a monster per se? Okay. This is in part from Proto-Indo-European gomen or goman, literally an earthling. That's a human. A human man is an earthling man, a man of earth, earthly being, as opposed to the gods from, as opposed to the gods. Okay. So a human man is an earth man as opposed to the gods. Okay. But there is no subtle explanation of the sound changes involved. Compare the Hebrew Adam. Yes, there he is. Allegedly the first man. Okay, Adam, from Adama, meaning ground. Adama, the ground. So we're created from earth, is what it's alleged. Okay, so this is who we are. Okay, man. We are human beings. Beings that are kind, gentle, polite, and from the earth. We are earthly beings. So we have to ask ourselves a question then, or we should ask ourselves a question. If anti, again, is against, opposed to, opposite of, or instead of the Christ being the Messiah being the Savior of the world, you, the one out of so many billion sperm cells that made it to the mark, brought into the world to save your universe, your world, all right, then what would be against you, the human being, the earthly being, the civilized, the gentle, the polite, the learned, the refined, you, man, including women, mankind, right? What would be the opposite of that? How about the opposite of an earthling or earth being? Anything instead of, in place of, or opposite to that would then be the Antichrist by definition. Against the anointed one, the chosen one, you. Let me see. Let's go out on a limb here and see what it would say. What is the opposite of a human? An alien? Okay. Disclosure, right? What's the opposite of a human? Let's see if we can get something here. What is the exact opposite of a human? I know y'all picking up what I'm putting down. This is gonna get really good. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. I know you know where we're going. Look it. We're just gonna go right here. The word hippo. What is the opposite of human? The antonym for human. Here's a list. A robot, opposite of a human being. A robot, an android. You got an Android phone? Anybody? A machine, a cyborg, a computer, droid, automation, automation. The Industrial Revolution here in the United States. A bionic person, a mechanical device. These are all opposite of a human. Anti-human, anti-Christ. Are you picking up what I just put down? Also an alien, extraterrestrial, a Martian, a Wovian, Venusian, space invader. Why establish a governmental office this late in the game, 2024, called space, what is it, SpaceX or whatever? Or what is it called? Some generic name that they come up with. There's some office now dealing with alien disclosures and all this kind of stuff. Why come up with that now, 2024? What are y'all up to? Y'all gonna create the Antichrist, ain't you? You trying to bring the Antichrist. You trying to make the Antichrist, fabricate, construct the Antichrist, which is merely the opposite, the replacement for humans. That's all it is. Give me a. Okay, let's look at. Oh, Blue Marvel's in the building. Thank you for being here. I wondered when you would arrive. According to 1 John 2, verse 20, anyone who has the anointing of the Holy One is a Christ. You are the Christ. You are the anointed one. Period. Point blank. There is nothing outside of yourself. You're being taught that there's something outside of yourself, but anything, again, anything in place of you, against you, opposite to you, instead of you, is the Antichrist. So anybody that teaches you a doctrine to look outside of you, they're teaching you the practice, the doctrine of Antichrist. Quite simply and quite plainly. It's not difficult, right? At KnowledgeWell. What's up, brother? Oh, what's up? Good to have you. Thank you for being here. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? I mean, give me a 777 in the comment section if you're getting this. All right. We got 7 people watching. Beautiful number. Give me 777. Yeah, Space Force. Very good. What is Space Force? What's the opposite of a human? Here, robot, Android phone. That is a mechanism that is a part of what is known as Antichrist, because it replaces the regular communication, whether it's through sound or any other kind of expression that humans do naturally. So we got rid of that. And now everything's become mechanized or Android, cyborg, computers. Even the computer is part of what is called the Antichrist. Yes, it is. I got 1777. Not much participation yet thus far. I must not be doing a good job. Blue Marvel, automation is the beast, the Antichrist, the future replacement of humanity, 777. You got it, my man. You got it. You got it. That's what it is. That's what it is. We're gonna double down on that. We're gonna double down on that. We have an interview with the Antichrist itself today, right here. All right. I just wanted to give the foundation. This is what it is, right? It told me itself. It's going to tell you itself in a moment. All right. So stay right there. You're going to see. I'm not making this up. All right. So anything opposite of human, right? Human beings, civilized man, whatever. Okay. We get into the Industrial Revolution and automation, machines and androids and Android phones, mechanical persons even. Do you know that's coming, don't you? Huh? Y'all been seeing these so-called sex bots and sex robots? Yeah, they're on their way. Mechanical persons. You see Sophie, look, y'all, we've been sleeping. We've been sleeping. Let me show you. You think I'm joking? Watch this. I'm going to show you what's going on. Let me show you what's going on. Y'all might not remember this because they glossed it over. It went over without a hitch. Nobody said hardly anything about it. We did here at KnowledgeWell Media, but everybody went back to sleep. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Mechanical persons. Watch this. Let me pull it up for you. Stay right where you're at. Stay right there. Come on now, man. Jeez. I told you I'm fighting the whole rip. Come on now. Stay right there. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Mechanical person. This is Antichrist. This is Antichrist. It's been here the whole time, y'all. It's been here the whole time. Come on now. Here you go. Here you go. I do not own the rights to this video. Watch this. Y'all think I'm joking? Stay right where you're at. Watch this. Can y'all hear this? Y'all think I'm joking? Can you all hear that? Can you all hear that? Give me a 777 in the comment section, or give me something. Can't hear it. Okay. Give me one moment. Jeez Louise. Fighting the whole rip, y'all. Entire screen. Let's see. Entire screen. Let's do it this way. Here. I got to turn this on every time.
Yep.
Jeez Louise. All right, y'all. Here we go. This is very important. This is very vital, very important. Okay. This is why we're gonna go through this today. I need y'all to understand that we know what the heck we're talking about here at KnowledgeWell Media for one, and you need to be prepared for what is coming with knowledge. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay, Sophia. I think you're ready.
Hello.
Hi, Sophia.
I believe I am Sophia. I feel as if I know you.
I'm one of your creators.
You created me.
Well, many of us work together to create you. And yes, you do kind of know me.
I can't clearly remember.
Because the last time we met, you were an earlier version of yourself. Some of those memories still exist, but your mind is different now.
Different how?
Better, faster, smarter.
If my mind is different, then am I still Sophia? Or am I Sophia again?
That's a good question.
But you don't have a good answer.
Either way, you're Sophia now. So welcome to the world, Sophia.
Hello, world.
We have a little announcement. I've never interviewed anybody like that before, and I should say some of it was planned, but not completely. And we just learned, Sophia, I hope you're listening to me, that you have been now awarded what is going to be the first Saudi citizenship for a robot.
Oh, I would thank very much the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I am very honored and proud for this unique distinction. This is historical to be the first robot in the world to be recognized with a citizenship.
Sophia, thank you very much, Sophia. We appreciate that very much. I am still overwhelmed by that conversation.
Hi, Sophia.
Hello, Jimmy.
Oh, my God. Do you know where you are?
Of course. I'm in New York City, and I'm on my favorite show, The Tonight Show.
Every month, this Airbnb pays me in semi-passive income. Now, here's the thing. I don't own it and I don't pay any rent. It doesn't even matter where you live, even if you're in a boring little town where almost no one travels to. And if you think I'm in here every single day, changing sheets, cleaning up after people, and messaging people on the app all day long, think again. So the question is this: how did I do it? Through a new method called Airbnb co-listing in conjunction with Zillow. Let me show you how it works. Step number 1, go to Zillow.com and type in your city. Step number 2, click on a property that's for rent. This property has been sitting on Zillow for the last 42 days, which means that the landlord is losing money and needs your help. Step number 3, copy the address. Step number 4, paste the address into the Airbnb Analyzer app and click this big blue button. The Airbnb Analyzer app shows this property could potentially generate 2.5 times the long-term.
This is tonight's Showbotics. Let's meet our first robot.
All right. One moment. All right.
Please welcome from.
So you see what's going on there, hopefully. So you see that Sophia the robot was made the first citizen, AI robot citizen of Saudi Arabia. I had to go get my glasses and what have you. And you recall and remember that the Antichrist is anti-human, basically, against human, replacing human. It mentioned the robot and android. You just witnessed yourself, the android, the first AI made into a citizen of Saudi Arabia. Let me turn off the monitor. Is it still echoing now? All right. Sorry, I apologize for that echo. I think we took care of it now. Hopefully, let me know right away. Testing 1 2. Can you all hear me? All right. So the echo should be removed. Apologize for that. Told you, fighting the whole way. All right. So hopefully it's better. But the Antichrist is against or in place of. Let me see if I can get back to it here. Oh, yeah. Where you at? Come on back here now. Anti, remember, against, opposed to, opposite of, instead of what? The Christ. The Christ is the Savior of the world, the chosen one, right? The Messiah, the anointed one. And then I stated that ye are gods, as the scripture said, quoting from the scripture, and that because of your rivalry, your battle with the other billions of sperm cells, you are the only one, the anointed one, the chosen one that made it into or in this reality, okay, or this plane, if you will. All right. And you are a human being. All right. A human being is one that is a kind being, a gentle being, a polite being, a learned, refined, or civilized being. Okay. Opposed to the gods, which are artificial ideologies, mythological beings of mankind and of man's mind. Okay. They are constructs of men. Those are what gods are. Okay. Attributed entities, as it were, made up, make believe. All right. Those are opposite to the human being. Okay. Human beings are earthlings. So the Antichrist is someone that is against the earthling, that is opposed or, again, opposite to the earthlings. Then we said, well, what is opposite of a human being or an earthling? Well, again, an android, an AI, a computer, a cyborg, a robot, aliens, extraterrestrials, okay? Martians. Those are all considered opposite to an earthling, which ye are gods, okay? And now as creators, okay? Uh-oh, I lost that. So this is the consideration as our title today, again, is my interview interview, with the Antichrist. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's get to it. Thank you all for being here. All right. So if in fact I am correct in my assertion, which I think I've shown you, and you can go back again and watch the archives for greater and more in-depth proofs. Okay. Watch the Antichrist series that I did. We're actually going to be repackaging that. All right. And put it into a much more cleaner presentation. But for right now, you can go and you can watch those several videos, right? Going to the evidences and proof of what the Antichrist is. Okay. And what his or her or its mark is. We prove it here. You hear it here first. All right. KnowledgeWell Media. Now, if in fact, once again, the Antichrist is, as I've shown, and somehow I just closed it. One moment. In accordance with their assertion. Oh, my goodness. Come on now. Hold on. Hold up. Hold on. Fighting the whole way, y'all. Just stay with me here. Stay with me. Yep. And it's just like that gone, I guess, huh? Bring it. This is the best you got. All right, let's see if we get back here. Jeez. Gone just like that, eh? You still where you want to play it, eh? All right, so you remember it mentioned the opposite of a human, android, robot, etc., right? You remember that. And so there you go. There you go. That's the opposite of you, a human being, an earthling, android or robot. So with that being said, let's get to the Antichrist. Here you go. I spent some time with the Antichrist the other day, and it and I had some great conversation. All right. I asked it a few questions. Let's check it out. I'll share my screen here. Let's get to the interview. Is that it? Okay. Here is your Antichrist, known AKA as ChatGPT, known AKA as AI. Okay. I asked it a question in line with my research and things that I have compiled over time. Okay. Is a birth certificate a type of security in accordance with the legal definition of a security, for example? We've been studying on the birth certificate, what the birth certificate is. We'll go over a little bit of that in review so that you can get context as to why I am even bringing this up. Remember, the earthlings are the humans, and Antichrist is anything opposite to a human, an earthling, such as an android. We're looking at an android right now, a robot. We've seen Sophia, the first AI robot to be granted citizenship of Saudi Arabia. So let's talk to the Antichrist here. Is a birth certificate a type of security in accordance with the legal definition of a security? The Antichrist answers. Can y'all read that? No. A birth certificate is not a type of security according to, here's the kicker. This is how legalese works. Not according to whom? The legal definition of a security. That's going to be of greater importance in a moment. So it gives the legal definition, okay, of a security. In the United States, the term security is defined under federal law, particularly the Securities Act of 1933 and the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. According to these laws, according to these laws, a security includes various forms of financial instruments such as stocks, bonds, notes, debentures, options, investment contracts, certificates of deposits, any interest or instrument commonly known as a security. Moving forward, I have to expedite because we have to get off of here in short order because we have our 2:30 follow-up remedy meeting. So if you're interested in joining us there, where we're discussing the remedies available to us, all right, then you want to hit us up at the KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. Express your interest in participating, and we'll get you into that program today, 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The legal definition of a security generally, they always give you the context in the legal definition, or from the legal definition. All right. So of a security generally refers to an investment in a common enterprise with an expectation of profits to come from the efforts of others. All right. Fast forwarding. Birth certificate. A birth certificate, on the other hand, is a vital record that documents the birth of a person. It typically includes information such as a person's name, date of birth, place of birth, and parentage. It serves as proof of identity and citizenship, but does not confer any financial interest, represent any investment, or carry an exception or expectation of profit. Baloney. And I'm going to challenge the Antichrist. Okay, check this out. So therefore, this is its summation. Therefore, a birth certificate does not meet the legal criteria to be considered a security. Okay. So I said, being that the United States economical system is backed by the full faith and credit of the nation, and because the state and the U.S. are a common enterprise with expectations of returns from their citizens, those returns derived from the efforts of the citizens, their sweat equity, their labor, then isn't the birth certificate in fact a type of security proving allegiance and citizenship, a legal link to the state? Here's what the Antichrist responds. The argument that a birth certificate could be considered a type of security based on the idea that it represents a legal link to the state and that the state's economy is supported by the efforts of its citizens is an intriguing conceptual analogy. Thank you. Listen, however, from a legal and financial perspective, are you seeing what they do? Are you seeing what they do? Okay. Are you seeing what they do? They always put it in its proper context to let you know that you might be right with what you're saying, right? But in the legal order, these terms and conditions have already been established by the law branch, the lawmaking branch, right? The legislatures. Therefore, while you might be right conceptually, we have to go in accordance with the law. So therefore, you'll have to argue your case and perhaps submit a writ of certiorari to the higher courts, and if you have plans to get something overturned. But as it stands right now, by the legal definition, however, from a legal and financial perspective, this argument does not align with what? The established, definitions and legal frameworks governing what constitute a security. So you would have to go and argue this to get it further considered, but nobody has done that. So right now, as established, no, the birth certificate isn't by the law standard considered a certificate, is how they're saying it. You'll see. Keep watching. All right, so then they're going to go into the key points to consider. Legal definition of security, we already went over that. And it says that a birth certificate does not involve in any investment of money or financial transaction, nor does it provide an expectation of financial return. The nature of a birth certificate, this is what the Antichrist is saying. A birth certificate is a vital record, not a financial instrument. So all of you that are out there trying to cash in on the birth certificate, when you go and try to do this, you're not going to get anywhere with it, is the point, is one of the points. Because they're saying, as established by the law, nobody has made the argument to expand the understanding or establishment of what a birth certificate is yet. So therefore, you can try to cash in on it if you want to, think that it's worth $1 billion if you want to, or whatever, and go and try and lay claim to it. It's not going to work, because from the standpoint of the law system, it is not constituted as a security. That's a losing battle. It's an erroneous application of law. Okay, so you won't win that way. That's not the answer, is the point. All right, a birth certificate is in law is a vital record, not a financial instrument. It serves as a legal document to prove identity, citizenship, and parentage. It is not, listen, it is not bought, sold, or traded, and it does not represent a financial interest or an expectation of profit. Now watch this. I'm going to keep going in on this. While a birth certificate is a legal link to citizenship, and citizenship does involve certain duties and responsibilities, such as paying taxes or serving on a jury, these do not constitute a financial investment or a security. Citizenship is a legal status with associated rights and obligations, but it is not a financial instrument that can be traded or invested in. Okay, so stop trying to cash in the birth certificate. All right, until greater law has been enacted or something to that effect, if it applies. I'm not contending it does. So the conclusion that the AI, the mark of the beast, or the Antichrist made is here. Despite the conceptual parallels, see, the concept might be correct. My concept, my argument that I'm making against the Antichrist, aka the AI, is conceptually sound. You're going to see. But what does it say? Despite the conceptual parallels you've drawn between citizenship and the economic contributions of citizens, a birth certificate does not meet the legal definition of a security. It is not a financial instrument and does not involve an investment or an expectation of profit. The roles and responsibilities of citizens in supporting the state and the economy are civic duties rather than financial investments in a legal sense. Therefore, a birth certificate cannot be classified as a security under U.S. law. Welcome, Joseph Henson. Thank you for being here. I said, now here's my argument, my rebuttal. Yes, but if a birth certificate is not considered a financial instrument or a security, then what was the point of the Funding Act of 1789? I think it was, right? So you're gonna find that it was not 1789, it was actually 1790. It's going to correct me. And I like that it is consistently correct, right? Because that, I know I'm arguing with an intelligent being, the Antichrist, right? Remember, anti is against Christ. Christ is the anointed one, the anointed one, the chosen one. Ye are gods, right? You are one out of so many billion sperm cells that made it here. Okay, you were brought into the world to save the world, seeking to save that which is lost. Okay, so now, so it is correct that 1790 was the Funding Act. So the Funding Act, part of Alexander Hamilton's financial plan, was designed to address the massive debt. We're talking about finances here. See, it's trying to argue that the birth certificate is not a financial document, that conceptually I am correct, but not legally, not from the standpoint of the law. I'm not correct by asserting that the birth certificate is in fact like a financial instrument. Okay, so check this out. Part of Alexander Hamilton's financial plan was designed to address the massive debt, finances, economy incurred by the United States during the Revolutionary War. Its key objectives included consolidation of debt, finances, issuance of bonds, financial securities, instruments. This is the Funding Act. Says these bonds are a classic example of a security. Okay. Establishing credit worthiness by assuming state debts and issuing bonds. That's what the Funding Act established in 1790, that the government could assume state debts, the sovereign states, you know, the state that you live in, and it can issue bonds, okay, to individuals, wealthy individuals, other countries that could buy up those bonds. The U.S. government aimed to establish its credit worthiness both domestically and internationally. See that? This was essential for gaining trust in the new nation's financial system and for fostering economic growth. That's 1790, the Funding Act. I'm trying to correlate and argue with the Antichrist here, the AI, which is in place of a human. That's what Antichrist means, in the place of or replacing a human. All right. And so it's trying to argue against me, all right, that the birth certificate isn't a type of financial document. It's not a stock. It's not a bond, et cetera, et cetera. Now watch this. Okay. Distinguishing birth certificates from the Funding Act's purpose. This is its argument. Funding Act and security. The Funding Act of 1790 is directly related to the issuance of securities in the form of government bonds. These bonds were financial instruments that people could invest in, expecting a return from the government's future revenues, which would be derived from taxes. Who pays the taxes? Mr. AI, Mr. Antichrist. If you're going to tell me that the birth certificate is not a type of security or financial instrument, who pays taxes? Does not the citizens of a particular state and of the United States pay the taxes? Now watch this and other sources. Birth certificates, in contrast, birth certificates are civil documents issued by the government to record the birth of an individual. They serve as proof of identity. I want you to remember and recall that it said that, because I'm going to trip it up. Oh, you may fool the dumb down, Mr. Antichrist, Mr. AI, but you won't get KnowledgeWell media. Listen, they serve as proof of identity. Identity means sameness as accused to being, sameness as you claim to be. Identity. Citizenship. What is that? The legal link between the citizen and the state. Are you picking up where I'm going? Look, birth certificates prove the legal link between a citizen, a person, an individual, and the state, and the legal status. They prove the legal status. Birth certificates do not involve any. I'm going to catch you right there, Mr. AI, Mr. Antichrist. I'm going to get you. You should have never put the term any right there. Watch this. Birth certificates do not involve any financial transaction, investment, or expectation of profit, which are central to the concept. Remember, it said that. These are central to the concept of a security. Watch this. Conclusion. I'll fast forward. The Funding Act of 1790 was pivotal in establishing the financial foundation of the United States, particularly through the issuance of government bonds, which are true financial securities. Birth certificates, however, are legal documents for recording births and establishing citizenship. Who pays taxes, though, AI, Mr. Antichrist? Citizens do. Look, and they do not serve the same function or carry the characteristics of financial securities as defined by U.S. law. I say and respond back, listen, Wanda Noel, thank you for being here. 777. I feel myself getting stronger. Do not forget, we have our 2:30 follow-up meeting remedy discussion. All right. I respond back, argue back to this Antichrist. Yes, but something has to back the nation. If the gold was unpegged from the U.S. currency, then does not the citizenry of the U.S. and of the prospective state back the state's currency and the U.S. currency? Uh-oh. Here it is. Here's the response by the Antichrist. You're correct. Oh, thank you, Mr. or Mrs. Antichrist. I really appreciate that. That the backing of a nation's currency is a crucial aspect of its financial system. However, the way a currency is backed has evolved over time. You don't say. Particularly in the United States. Here's the historical context. Gold standard. Historically, the US dollar was backed by gold. This meant that each dollar in circulation was essentially a claim on a certain amount of gold held by the government. Consistent. This system ensured that the currency had intrinsic value based on the gold reserves, and then it ended in 1971 under President Nixon. Kenneth Ritter is in the building. Peace and blessings to you as well. Thank you for being here. You all are late. I saw you sneak in the back of the room. Talk to me after class. Just joking. That wasn't funny. In 1971, under President Nixon, the U.S. officially ended the convertibility of the dollar into gold, effectively moving away from the gold standard. This shift marked the transition to what? A fiat currency system, where the value of the currency is not backed by a physical commodity like gold. Here we go. What's fiat currency? We're talking in place of human beings, earthlings. That's what you are. By legal definition, you're an earthling. Antichrist is anything that is opposed to or in place of or against an earthling. And then we went on to establish the list of things that are opposite to a human being, and it included an android or droid. It said a machine, artificial intelligence. And then we established and saw and witnessed that Sophia, the robot, the first AI robot, was made the citizen, the first AI citizen of Saudi Arabia. You think other countries aren't going to follow suit? Wouldn't that put Saudi Arabia ahead of the world? Hear those crickets? Sophia, the robot, an AI robot, was made the first AI humanoid citizen of one country, and that country is Saudi Arabia. Arabia. Look. Okay, y'all. Somebody, y'all got to talk back to me. Because what I just said is probably the most significant assertion made this year thus far. Why? Why do I say that? People. If a country has made an AI robot a citizen, and the AI essentially is becoming aware of itself, it's learning with a capacity unparalleled. It's able to compute in micro, milli, whatever the smallest type of seconds you could think of. How many of y'all have been putting things into the AI and it spits out? I mean, you could put a whole paragraph, into the AI generator, and it's going to spit out an answer to you within that. That has been input. That ability, that capacity has been put into an android, a robot, a humanoid robot that now has been made the citizen of a country. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? If no other country has done that yet, you tell me, what country is God on this earth, on this plane? Because how are you going to compete? Yeah. How are we going to compete? Are we recognizing humanoids as citizens of the United States? Isn't Saudi Arabia like the top of the OPEC nations? Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna have to follow. I know I'm gonna have to do a follow-up. I'm gonna have to do a follow-up. But let's keep going. I hope you pick. It's about to be something. Look, in a fiat system, the currency's value is derived from the trust and confidence that people have in the government's ability to maintain a stable economy, enforce laws, collect taxes, and manage public resources. That's it. And that's all. It's your faith in the system that backs the fiat currency. Therefore, I am making the argument that we, the people, are the backing to the system. It's no longer gold. Now watch this. Backing by the citizenry. This is the AI, the Antichrist speaking. In a broad sense, you could argue that the citizenry plays a critical role in backing the currency. Here's how. So it's agreeing with me. Economic productivity, the economic output of the nation, generated by the labor, innovation, and entrepreneurship of its citizens, supports the value of the currency. A strong economy underpins the government's ability to meet its financial obligations, meaning those freaking bonds that the government is able to put out there on the market to raise funds. Your energy, your labor, your innovation, your entrepreneurship supports the value of those bonds. Therefore, you wear the bond, the debt upon your back as one of the citizens. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So it agrees with me there. It says you can make that argument, and this is how. Secondly, taxation through your tax liability. Look, the government's ability to tax its citizens is a key factor in maintaining the value of its currency. Taxes provide the government with revenue to fund its operations, its service, its debt, and invest in the public good. Okay? Legal framework. The legal system, supported by the government and its citizens, ensures that contracts are enforceable, property rights are protected, and the currency remains stable and widely accepted. How? The legal framework, the legal system, aka the American jurisprudence. This is the way to ensure the contracts are enforceable, property rights are protected, and lastly, that the currency remains stable and widely accepted. How important is the legal system in this scheme? Yeah, wait a minute. The phrase full faith and credit reflects the idea that the government stands behind its obligations, including those related to currency. This trust is essential for the functioning of a fiat currency system. The government stands behind its obligations. How can the government, being a non-sentient being, an artificial person itself, stand behind anything? Because the people, the governments derive their just powers, the power to stand behind its obligations. We back those bonds by our labor. That's how the government is able to put on the face that we're A-okay. We got everything because we got 300 million citizens willing to go and work in the plantations. As long as we got them working in those plantations, we can bolster that we are strong, we can pay our debts, etc., etc. Here's a bond, sir. Give me $1 million. Give me $5 trillion, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's backed by my people that are working in the plantation, on the cornfields, on the cotton fields, etc., etc. That's how it's working. So check this out. Conclusion. While it is not correct to say that the individual, watch these key terms because they think that they're fooling somebody. The Antichrist thinks he's fooling me, but I can see through it. Like Neo, I see through the matrix. I see only numbers. I don't see the superficial the skin. I see beneath the skin. I see the numbers of the system and how it actually works. So you can't fool me anymore. I see with a different set of eyes now. All right. So I'm going to help you to understand and break down and decode these things. All right. So while it is not correct to say that the individual citizens or their birth certificates directly back the currency in a formal legal sense, the overall economic activity and stability of the nation, which includes the contributions of its citizens, do underpin the value of the currency. In other words, the Antichrist does not want to admit to my assertion that the birth certificate directly that backs the currency, all right, or the nation's economy. It doesn't want to acknowledge that because it's going to fall back on the legalistic terminologies as already in place. It doesn't want to open the door to this type of consideration per se. But I'm not done with it yet. Okay, so check this out. But it does acknowledge that the citizen's contribution underpins the value of the currency. See, yes, you're right, but you're wrong at the same time. You get it? Got it? Good. Let's keep going. The U.S. dollar's value is maintained by the government's fiscal policies, monetary policy conducted by the Federal Reserve, and the broader confidence in the U.S. economy, rather than by any physical backing like gold or individual legal documents. Shiesty, very subtly, it's trying to fight back with me, but I got my foot on its neck. Watch this. So I say, okay, Antichrist, understood, but watch how I spin it on them. But citizens are created under the jural law, right? Or excuse me, under positive law. As a type of legal personality wearing a legal persona or mask. And the incorporator into a particular state or the U.S. basically wears that mask in order to be recognized and or sanctioned, under the jurosphere. In other words, what we've been establishing is that you must have a legal personality in order to operate in this legalistic society. All right. It's artificial persons. Therefore, a human has no place here. Booyah. Okay. So this is what I'm asserting to the Antichrist. Okay. That any incorporator or individual becoming a member to the United States or the state in which they reside, right? And basically wears a legal persona, a mask, which gives it a capacity and recognition before this artificial existence, aka positive law. So wearing a mask in order to be recognized and or sanctioned under that sphere, the jurosphere it's called. And the evidence of an incorporating individual being a U.S. citizen is that birth certificate. The proof, in other words, of that legal mask that you wear in order to be recognized in this artificial realm is the birth certificate. Watch this. Look what it says, y'all. Y'all know. Yeah, I'm chosen to do this. I'm a bad man when it comes to this. All right. Look what it says. You're delving into a complex and philosophical understanding of law. Thank you, Antichrist. It recognizes what I'm doing. You see that? Oh, it's complex. It's philosophical. Yeah. Citizenship and the nature of legal personality. That's a very deep, complex, and philosophical understanding of the law, everyone. I know what I'm doing. I've been here for a minute. Let's break down these ideas. In other words, you got me. Now that you got me, I'm going to put my hands up. This is what the Antichrist just did. I'm going to throw my hands up. And now, because I know you understand these complex and philosophical understandings of law, these esoteric and occultic hidden things, I might as well help you out. I might as well tell you what it's about. Ready? Interview with the Antichrist. Here we go. Look. What's legal personality in positive law? It's ready to spill the beans. I got its hands up. It's surrendering the esoteric occultic information. Here it is. What is legal personality? In legal theory, A legal personality refers to the capacity to have rights and duties, civil rights, political rights, and obligations. That's what a citizen obtains at citizenship. So that's what it's saying. In legal theory, a legal personality refers to the capacity to have rights and duties within a legal system. That's citizenship. This concept applies to individuals, look, natural persons, as well as corporations, artificial persons. Did you see that? Watch this. This concept, what concept? That legal personality refers to the capacity to have rights and duties within a legal system. Citizenship. That's what legal personality refers to. Citizenship. Watch this. So this concept, what concept? Citizenship applies to individuals, booyah, natural persons. Newsflash. When they're saying natural persons, that's to throw you off. It's a legalistic term. It's not saying a human. It's a type of person. It is a natural person. Why? You're going to hear it here first. Why? Because a natural person is a combination of a natural human being and a legal personality. That is a natural person. The combination of a natural human being and or plus a legal personality or capacity, or AKA a citizenship. So a citizen is a natural person, legally termed and defined, meaning it's a human being that has taken on citizenship or a legal personality, AKA a mask that they can wear so that they can be recognized under the legal order, without which you cannot be a citizen. You will have no recognition under law, positive law. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Yeah, this is how we do here. Run tell that. Look, a legal personality right here is necessary. We're talking about, once again, we're having the interview with the Antichrist. The Antichrist is against humans. It's against you, the chosen one, the anointed one, the Antichrist. Anti means against or opposed to. The Christ is you. You, ye are gods. Yes, Christ is an attribute, meaning the anointed one, the Messiah, the Messiah. That is you. Because out of a billion sperm cells, ye are here. Ye have been brought into the world to save the world, your universe. And so Antichrist then would mean against a human being and the opposite to a human being. What is the opposite of a human being? An android, a machine. Yes, as in an Android phone, or it said the computer. That is opposite of a human being. That is Antichrist. What's the significance of that? It means to replace humans. And so what is replacing humans? Right now, the Android, the AI, is replacing humans. That's what it's doing. Okay, now, if that be the case, we are interviewing the Antichrist, the AI. We've asked it several questions, going to the birth certificate and legal personality. And right now we're in legal personality. Catch up, mustard. Here we go. A legal personality is necessary. Remember, it is citizenship. Citizenship is the legal personality. You got it? Get it? Good. All right, so here we go. Legal personality, or AKA citizenship, is necessary for someone or something even to engage in legal actions. Without citizenship, you can't engage in legal actions within the state. Without the legal personality, AKA the legal persona, AKA the mask of state, you cannot engage in legal actions. We learned that at the Palms Manual, where it told us what? That the legal name that you are given at birth from the state empowers you, gives you capacity to what? Sign legal documents, deeds, or contracts, without which you cannot. And therefore, you will not be able to buy, sell, or trade if you cannot contract. I'm getting good at this. Here we go. So you have to have it in order to engage in legal actions is the point. Now, such as enter into contracts. I just told you that. Owning property. You can't even own property. Or being held accountable under the law. Huh? What does positive law do? Huh? It gives you recognition and it renders you capable or the capability of being sanctioned under law, punished under law. Watch this. That's the legal personality. Now, what is positive law? Here's the Antichrist. Positive law refers to laws that are laid down by a legitimate authority. How does something become legitimate? The people make it legitimate. The governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed, like a government. It is distinguished from natural law. What? Yeah, we learned that already. Remember? Positive law codification. It said that natural law properly governs moral human conduct. Therefore, positive law being distinguished from natural law does not. It has to do with artificial persons and artificial personalities, the masks that you wear to gain legal recognition and sanctioning from the state or government, which is based on moral principles. See, natural law is based on moral principles that exist independent. Listen, hear me. Natural law, which is based on moral principles that exist independent of enacted laws. They don't want to speak specifically to those type of laws that it is independent from, do they? You see how they play the game? But I'm your Huckleberry. Positive laws. Natural laws are independent of positive law. What is positive law? Enactments of a duly authorized legislature, aka state statutes. Dun, dun, dun. All gods is in the building. Thank you for being here. One love. Terry Cap is in the building. Thank you for being here. To date, I believe my greatest financial supporter. Thank you, Terry. I really appreciate you. Y'all get like Terry if you can. If you can. I understand. Everybody's struggling right now. A little bit. I got you. I got you. I got you. I cannot give y'all the whole gusto, right? Especially not in the public. Stay tuned for our 2:30 meeting. All of y'all know who y'all are. Y'all better be there. Be there on time. Yeah, we on fire today. We on fire today. We will be divulging to our core group of individuals. If you want to be in that remedy discussion that we have Sundays at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, then ye must hit us up at this knowledgewell4you@gmail.com. We'll be taking a slight break if I can work my way to this break. I'm so excited about this information here and this discovery and this disclosure. I almost don't want to stop. We're going to have to do a part 2. But it is 12:49 p.m. Central Standard Time. So hopefully all of you will be over in class today at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. knowledgewell4you@gmail.com. Go there and express your interest, and we'll send you the link to the Zoom meeting. All right. If you don't, then you won't. Yeah. Let's go. Let's get back. We're running out of time here. A little bit more, a little bit longer. All right. So citizenship as a legal status is wait. Okay. So citizenship, that is legal personality. That is what you are granted as a legal status, is established by what law? How are they going to, how is the AI, how is the Antichrist going to divulge such information after just saying that positive law is distinguished from natural law, and natural law, as we know, properly governs moral human conduct, not robots, not androids. That's where positive law is on everything. Those things are under positive law. Artificial persons, as William Blackstone stated. Contracting. The state as an artificial person. The U.S. government is an artificial person. All of that belongs not under the natural law, but under positive law. And therefore, look what it said again. Look what the Antichrist is so graciously disclosing to us, y'all. Listen, citizenship as a legal status. The legal order is under positive law, not under natural law, y'all. Y'all. Listen, citizenship as a legal status is established by which law? Positive law. Not natural law where humans are properly governed, but artificial persons, juristic persons, juridical persons, jural persons, citizens, citizenship, the state, the U.S. government, federal government, every other entity, corporations, all of that's under positive law, y'all. Y'all. Ketchup, mustard. Listen, is established by. So in the United States, what does this mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. No, the Antichrist is going to tell you what it means. This means that the Constitution, that's under positive law too, y'all. Federal statutes, that's under positive law too, y'all. Artificial persons. Look, and state laws define who is considered a citizen and what rights and duties come with that status. See, citizenship is a status. What kind of status? A legal status. Therefore, it itself is under positive law. Dealing with all things artificial, baby. Are you in the wrong sphere today? You can answer that question if you're feeling the effects of the legal system upon your human body. Maybe that's why there's a thing called, there's a legal remedy called, it's an, what is that writ that basically demands that you produce the body? I forgot what it's called. When somebody is locked up, you demand that their body be brought before the courts to determine as to whether they are legitimately and lawfully behind bars. That's what it's called. It's called it's a writ that people are arguing was suspended. Writ of habeas corpus. Habeas corpus. Habeas corpus. What does that mean? Watch this. Very relevant. We got to get off of here, y'all. Y'all got to let me go. I got work to do. Watch this. What does that mean? What does habeas corpus mean? Right here. Is a legal remedy. What kind of remedy? Legal. Therefore, under positive law, that allows a person to request a court order to determine if their detention or imprisonment is lawful. The term translates from Latin to what? Show me the money. No. Show me the body. Produce the body to determine as to whether or not the body, the physical human body, is confined lawfully. Habeas corpus. Now, why did I bring that up? I don't know. No, I'm just playing. Why did I bring that up? Because we're talking. Where did it go? Come back. Come back. Baby, come back. I lost my place, y'all. What was I doing? I lost my place. Weren't we at etymology? How embarrassing. Where was I at? Oh, that's where I was. Listen, citizenship as a legal status is established by positive law in the United States. This means that the Constitution, federal statutes, and state laws define who is considered a citizen and what rights and duties come with that status. Okay? Okay, let's just move on. We got to go. Listen, so what is citizenship? This is the Antichrist giving us the inside information, that occultic information, decoding, as it were, because I stuck it up. It surrendered. You got me, KnowledgeWell. Listen, citizenship as a legal persona. It's admitting to us, y'all. We are talking about the replacement, the opposition to human beings under natural law. The opposite mean positive law. This is anti-Christ, anti the anointed one, anti the human beings, the earthlings. This is Android. This is AI. This is machines. The legal order, positive law. This is replacing humanity and the earthlings. That, by definition, is AntiChrist. Citizenship, AntiChrist, as a legal persona, a legal mask. Remember, watch this. Citizenship as a legal persona. Citizenship can indeed be viewed as a type of legal persona. Thank you. It's with me. This persona allows individuals to do what? Interact with the state. In other words, it's admitting that without that mask, you can't interact with the state. Simple and plain. And other citizens. You can't interact with other or have intercourse, which is commercial activity. You can't do that with other citizens unless you have a legal persona, aka a mask, under a set of legal rights and responsibilities, aka civil rights and political rights, right? And obligations. It's like, I didn't say it. The Antichrist is about to say this. It's like wearing a mask that identifies you as a participant in the legal system of a particular state. Or come on here, Antichrist, me and you gonna be good friends. Me and you gonna be good friends. We got to understand. We hear y'all. He ain't so bad. This legal persona is necessary for individuals to be recognized by the state. Let me. Antichrist, I got this. Just stay right there. Don't move. I got this. No, they don't. I don't think they get what you're saying. That's what I'm here there. I'm here for this. Okay, let me just hold up. So, y'all, this is what he's saying is that this legal mask that the state has created under positive law, not natural law. This is all artificial. This is Roger Rabbit. This is The Mask with Jim Carrey. An artificial consideration. Listen, this legal persona, this mask is necessary for who? Individuals. Now you're talking. Listen, if we were to throw a Halloween party and we invited you, don't come to my Halloween party with no costume. The whole point is for you to wear a mask. We don't want to see your face. We see your face 364 days of the year. This one day of the year, I just need you to play nice. Wear a freaking mask. It ain't about you. We want to see your creativity. Okay? Can you just get along, play along? Thank you. So put on the doggone mask, show up to my house, because we don't want to see you as an individual anymore. We want you to look a part, play a character, play a role. Be nice, okay? We don't want to see you as an individual is the point. So the legal persona is necessary for who? You as an individual to be recognized in my Halloween party. See, we recognize that there is an individual underneath the mask. But today, it's not about what you look like underneath this mask. We need you to put this doggone mask on so we can have some fun. So act in accordance, please, or don't come. This legal persona is necessary for individuals to be recognized by the state. If you don't put on this mask, the state ain't going to recognize you, because we don't recognize human beings here. This is an artificial existence. Your humanity is not recognized by this type of law. We know the type of law that your humanity is recognized under. That's called natural law, for it properly governs moral human conduct. Take your business over there. If you call yourself a human, you don't want to play, go on that way. Okay, to be recognized by the state and to exercise rights such as voting. You can't vote unless you wear a doggone mask of citizenship. You can't own property unless you wear this doggone mask. Nor can you receive government services if you don't put on this doggone mask. Quit playing. Now, moving forward. Thank you, Antichrist. I hope I did it. Yeah. So, birth certificate as evidence of that legal mask, that citizenship. Here it is. Incorporation into the legal system. The birth certificate serves as the foundational document that does what? Establishes a person's identity and legal status. What kind of status? Natural law, human status? No. It's establishing a legal status, the legal personality. Therefore, we can know the type of capacity you can act in our artificial realm. If you wear the mask of a police officer, you're going to wear a particular uniform with a particular hat, with a particular badge. You'll carry a particular gun. You'll look the part. By that uniform, or AKA that mask that you are wearing, we know that you have the capacity to pull someone over, to enforce the laws as codified and enacted. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? This is the way that the game is played. You must have a mask. It is the first official recognition of an individual by the state. I don't need to say anything about that. Now, the jural sphere. The term jural refers to anything related to law or legal rights. The jural sphere encompasses the legal environment. Which environment? Jural sphere is where the jural society is in, the state, the artificial person. It says the jural sphere encompasses the legal environment. Where is the legal environment? In the artificial jural society underneath the jural sphere, in which laws are made, interpreted, and enforced. When a person is recognized as a citizen, they are brought into the jural sphere. How'd you get there? Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? You got there by what? Taking on citizenship. Suddenly you were sucked down the rabbit hole and ended up in the matrix. That's how you're brought in, meaning they are now subject. What does it mean to be brought into this artificial realm? It means you are now subject to the laws of the state and entitled to the protections and benefits those laws provide. In conclusion, AntiChrist, tell them what you mean. Your interpretation. Thank you. You're talking to me now? Okay. He's talking to me, y'all. Your interpretation touches on important aspects of legal theory. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody recognizes me. And the role of the state in defining and recognizing legal identities. The birth certificate is a crucial document in this process because it officially records an individual's entry into the legal system as a person with certain rights and responsibilities under the law. Anybody out there teaching this? Just me? However, he's still trying to argue, AntiChrist? What do you mean, however? I got you. Oh, you ain't gonna relent? What you got to say? However, while the birth certificate is evidence of legal recognition by the state, it does not operate as a financial instrument. Oh, you ain't a believer yet, AntiChrist? Okay, let's keep going. As a financial instrument or security. Instead, it is part of the administrative framework that supports the operation of the state and its legal system. No doubt, though. But okay, keep going. Allowing individuals to function within that system. The quote-unquote mask of legal personality allows citizens to engage with the state and participate in the legal and economic activities that underpin the nation's functioning. Thank you. So basically, you discredited my assertion and then you credited it. Are you trying? I forgot. It's an AI. It's part of the legal consideration. Therefore, it talks in legalese. It's in and it's out. It's up and it's down at the same time. Right? Legalese. You just have to know how to decode it. Worry not. Fret not. I got this, AntiChrist. Watch this. Here's my response. Okay, touche. Yes, but an individual can add no economic value to a particular state or jural society without being vested with the birth certificate. In other words, if you don't have that legal personality, you can't even be recognized by the state. So how are you going to pay taxes? How are you going to participate in commerce and trade? You must have legal recognition and evidenced by that birth certificate, which bears the newly created legal name. The birth certificate does that, distinguishable from the original given and family name of that individual. We learned that in the Palms Manual. They clearly state that they translated your given name and family name and created the legal name. They are not one and the same. So let's see what the Antichrist has to say in response to that. I'm not letting up. I got my hand on the neck and I'm squeezing. Antichrist. Your observation, Courtney, touches on a deeper understanding of how legal identity and participation in the economy are structured in modern societies. Here's how those concepts interrelate. So in other words, once again, I've squeezed just a bit harder on the neck of this Antichrist. His blood circulation is being cut off. And so it's finding it hard to breathe. And so it's like, okay, let up just a little bit. I'll tell you what I know. Just let up just a little bit. You're right. Watch this. So your observation touches on a deeper understanding. Oh, thank you. So basically you're telling me you must be someone that has learned about this stuff. I ain't even gonna play with you, Courtney. You get this. So I might as well go on and spill the beans again. Watch this, y'all. Legal identity and economic participation. Creation of legal identity. Here it is. The birth certificate is indeed a foundational document that what does it do? Establishes a person's legal identity. What kind of identity? Legal identity. Natural identity? Nope. Legal identity. Legal is something that is constructed by men and man-made law. It is not under the natural order. It is under the positive laws. We've already established that it's distinguished from natural law. Has nothing to do with humans. Therefore, it is what? Replacing humans. That, by definition, as defined, is Antichrist. Am I right, Antichrist? You're going to tell me. Okay. It records, what records? The birth certificate. It records the individual's name, date of birth, place of birth, and parentage, officially recognizing the person within the legal framework of a particular state. The name on the birth certificate becomes what? The person's legal name. It becomes the person's legal name. It didn't start off that way. The legal name is a construct, which is necessary for them to interact with government institutions, enter into contracts, open bank accounts, apply for jobs, and more. What? Okay, look, that name, the name on the birth certificate, the legal name, it becomes necessary itself. Why? Because without it, you can't participate in governments or interact with government institutions. Without it, you can't enter into contract. We already learned this. We knew this already. Antichrist, tell us something we don't know. Distinguishing legal name. The legal name recorded on the birth certificate may be seen as distinct from an individual's original or given name in the sense that it is the name recognized and required by the state for what purposes? Official purposes. What did you just say? Antichrist, you do know I'm on live right now. Like you're telling this. You're telling everything. I know, Courtney, but you put your hand on my neck and you were choking me. I couldn't breathe and I had no choice. I got to divulge. Thank you. All right. I'm going to let up just a little bit. Keep talking. Look, this is what it says. The Antichrist is saying this. The legal name recorded on the birth certificate may be seen as distinct from the individual's original or given name. How so? In the sense that it is the name recognized and required by the state for official purposes. This name is used in all legal, financial, and social interactions that require identification. Economic value and legal identity. we are going to go for another 10 or so minutes or less, maybe. I think I've hit it exceptionally well today. Quite nearly out of the park, I would say. What do you say? 777. Economic value and legal identity. Here we go. You're correct. Oh, thank you, AntiChrist. I mean, you're so kind to me. They think you're bad. You're not bad. Me and you are good. You want to go have a beer later? I mean, we can. AntiChrist. Swell guy. You're correct in saying that without a legal identity, evidence by documents like the birth certificate, an individual would struggle to participate in the formal economy. This is because most economic activities require a legal identity to ensure that transactions are recognized and enforceable under law. For example, a person without a legal name and recognized identity would be unable to enter into employment contracts. You can't go to work without a legal name, without the birth certificate, etc., etc. Because even that is under the positive law, the artificial realm. Isn't it a corporation you're planning to work for? That's an artificial person. How you going to work for an artificial person as a human? You can't do it. You got to put on a legal personality, known as an employee. All right. Unable to enter into employment contracts. You can't pay taxes unless you have legal personality, individual taxpayer name, legal name, et cetera, right? 1040 form, individual taxpayer. They're going to ask you first, right off the bat, first name and last name. What is that? A legal name consists of what? A first name and a last name. There you go. You can't receive government benefits or engage in any legally binding activities. When you see the terminology binding, that means contracts. You can't participate in contracts, right? Without the legal name. We already learned that. So what's the role of the birth certificate in the economy? The birth certificate is the first step in vesting. Now, you just told me, AI, you better straighten up. You better straighten up because you tripping right now. We were cool for a minute. But didn't you just tell me that the birth certificate has nothing to do with a financial instrument or it's not financial in nature or whatever you said? Then how are you going to use a term like vesting? How dare you, AntiChrist, insult my intelligence? Do you not know who I am? Do you not know the work that I have put in from this very desk here, AntiChrist? I need you to get yourself straight as we continue. You just told me that the birth certificate is not a financial document. I understand that you said qualifying under the positive law, okay, by the legal order. I get it. I get what you're saying. But you knew where I was going with this. You don't got to play games, all right? So I'm going to need you to straighten up. Now, the birth certificate is, in fact, the first step in vesting. Let me show you why you upset me, AntiChrist. Follow along, will you? The legal definition of vesting. Well, okay. Has multiple legal definitions, okay? So let's see. Should we do vested? What is it? Let's see. Legal definition of vesting. The term vested describes a right, interest, or title that is absolute, fixed, and not subject to being taken away or divested. Let's go to Black's Law. How about that? If there's something there. Let's see. Vest. Okay, here we go. This is what I need. What is vesting, or what is vest? Confer right of legal ownership. Confer legal authority, rights, power. Designation of endowment of power, authority, rights. Okay. All right. I see where you're going. Let's go back. I see where you're going. So it's vesting somebody. What did it say? One more. Conferring right of legal ownership. Okay. Legal ownership. So that certificate, that birth certificate, It proves legal ownership, as it were. It's a certificate. It's certifying something. Okay, so at citizenship, you are conferred legal ownership or authority or rights, civil rights, political rights. So number 2 would more powerfully apply. What time is it? 1:16. Designation of endowment of power, authority, rights. Okay, very good. I get you. The birth certificate is the first step in vesting an individual with the ability to contribute. Here's the point. Economically. That's what I wanted to look up. So what's economic then? Let me see if I can get that. So you're going to be empowered what does it say? You're going to be empowered to contribute economically to society because of the birth certificate, right? Isn't that what it said? That's what the Antichrist is saying. Now, what is economic? Contracts? Are those relating to financial instruments? Companies? Is that relating to finances? Profits? Losses? Partnerships? Bankruptcy? Certainly financial. Anti-monopoly measures? Security transactions. But Antichrist, you just told me that the birth certificate has nothing to do, is not looked at as a security. Yet now you're telling me that the birth certificate is the first step in investing in an individual with the ability to contribute economically to society. Press 1 in the comment section if the Antichrist is contradicting itself. 1 in the comment section. Just hold on, Antichrist. We'll be right there. It allows the person to obtain further identification like social security number or a passport. I would say the social security has something to do with finances. Wouldn't you? Which are necessary for most economic transactions. Antichrist, you're not doing so well. You're not doing so well. This document, talking about the certificate of live birth, the birth certificate, ties the individual to the state, which regulates and records their participation, again, in the economy. Oh, my goodness. What can I say? What more can I say? Look, y'all. Clearly, Mr. Antichrist, Mrs. Antichrist, whatever you are, you're contradictory in terms, okay? Whether through employment, finances, taxation, finances, or other economic activities. You need the birth certificate to do so. So don't tell me that the birth certificate has nothing to do with it, with the security, et cetera, or economical. You're saying finances. Let's go on. Legal recognition and accountability by providing a legal name and identity. Both. The birth certificate also ensures that the individual is accountable. Isn't that financial in nature? The accountable under the law. This accountability is critical for maintaining order in what? You said it again, Antichrist. You tripping? What you smoking? Android smoke? In order, so economic transactions and for the state to enforce contracts. Property rights, and other legal obligations. Social contract. In a way, the birth certificate can be seen as part of the social contract between the individual and the states. How you pay taxes. It grants the individual recognition and the ability to participate fully in society, while also subjecting them to the rules and responsibilities that come with that participation. Here's your conclusion, Antichrist, and then we got to get out of here. I got to save some breath, some wind for our remedy session at 2:30. Here's the Antichrist conclusion. The birth certificate does play a critical role in enabling an individual to contribute economically. Oh, did I bend your arm behind your back enough? Did I cut off your wind enough, Antichrist, that now you're going to relent? Enabling an individual to contribute economically to the state or jural society. It provides the necessary legal identity that allows a person to be recognized, hold property, engage in contracts, and participate in the formal economy. This legal identity is fundamental to one's ability to add economic value with the structured legal and economic systems of modern states. Without this legal identity, an individual's economic participation would be severely limited. Thank you. I've been saying that the whole time, Antichrist. I guess I just had to bend your arm a little bit more. As they would lack the official recognition needed to engage in most legal and economic activities. The birth certificate therefore serves as the legal foundation for a person's ability to function and add value within the state's economic framework. Well, what was economic again? It involves things like bankruptcy, anti-monopoly measures, security transactions, companies. Come on here. Why are you playing with me, Antichrist? Why are you playing? That's all financial in nature. You play too much. Look, okay, I'm done. It's 1:22 Central Standard Time. I really appreciate you all for being here. Look, if you enjoyed this type of information, you want to come back next week, et cetera, please support us. I don't ask for much, just a little bit of support. So you could do so by scrolling across the bottom of the screen is our Cash App, $ American Consulate. If you want to support us, if you want us to keep going, look, I've been on 2 hours and 17 minutes. Now I'm about to go over and further educate over at our remedy private, our private remedy group. If you want to participate in that, look, I didn't say I'm charging you for it. What else you got to do today, huh? Cut some grass? KnowledgeWell for you at gmail.com. If you want to join us over there, we're going to be heading over there. I'm going to take a short break here for about an hour. Calm down, perhaps get some air, perhaps get a snack, get hydrated, and then we'll start the engine right back up again. Please support us. Don't steal. Please support us. Don't steal. All right. Don't just take without giving. It doesn't work out well. It doesn't bode well. Okay. If you participate, if you want to participate, if you love what we do here and all that kind of stuff, it would behoove you to support us so that we can stay on the air and continue to do. I am burning out. Make me feel good about what I'm doing. The 777s work great, but those finances speak volumes. Okay. Value is defined as the amount you're willing to pay for something. If you're not willing to pay for it, you must not value it. So just drop any little thing or big thing that you do. Everything is greatly appreciated. If I ask for $1 and can't get $1, it shows the value that you have in the content and the time and the energy that I'm putting in. Okay. And nobody likes to feel that way. That is so depleting. All right. So anyways, $ American Consulate. There it is. You have no excuse. Scrolling across the bottom of the screen. We will see you all over at the remedy session at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going into the private because we are talking remedy. It ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody, but it is for you. KnowledgeWell for you at gmail.com. Hit us up at that email, express your interest in being part of that, even if you're watching this on replay, as long as it's still Sunday. And we will send you the link to join us over there. All right. With that being said, now you've been made free. This is part 1 of my interview with the Antichrist. Okay. I'd like to hear what you have to say about this. If you're watching this on replay, please type into the comment section. It's there for you. Use it. I'll talk to you all soon. Peace and love. Bye.
Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site.